Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. We're back in Farming Simulator 22 on the Elk Mountain, Wyoming custom map. Lots of fun. You can see my bucket here has some little crazy little dots floating on it. I will explain that in a minute. I'm starting to lose my voice, so I wasn't going to record, but I want to keep playing, and so I want to show you what I'm doing. So we'll see how long I can keep talking. Last episode, I talked about how we might look for a mod that allows us to lift heavy things so we can do away with these trees a little bit faster. I did find a mod. It's actually called the lumberjack mod. It's on the mod hub for Farming Simulator, just the default mod hub. And this mod allows us to do all kinds of things. One of those things is take out these little trees, or I take out any tree, but I'm only going to do it for these little ones. We just aim down kind of towards the roots, and I fire up our saw. Boom, bye-bye tree. So I'm going to use that probably for the smaller trees. This one, I may not. Yeah, I'm going to do it here too, just to save time if I can. The downside of this mod, at least as I've been playing with it, something is glitching my saw. You can see here I'm trying to do it here and I cannot get it to work. In fact, even if I cut regular, let's try cutting regular. Okay, it's taking it now. Let's see if I can get underneath. But occasionally the saw has stopped working. The chainsaw stops working for me. I'm not sure why that is. Looks like we got it here. Boom, that guy's gone. And then the other thing I mentioned is it does allow us to lift heavy things. So this tree we will actually process and cut it into chunks. Let's see if we can get to where it's going to let us do that. There are two colors that show up. I can't tell the difference. One is it's going to remove the tree, and one is going to cut it down just like this. So like I said, the mod that we're originally looking for would give us superhuman strength. This one does. All I need to do, I think, is tap. Let's see if I have it. Yeah, I've already got it set. I can pick up this entire tree. I'll try not to abuse it. I mean, I can pick up the entire tractor and everything else. But we'll use it so I don't have to cut so many slices. So let's see, that is the lumberjack mod. It also allows me to cut down trees that are on property that I don't own. And it also allows me to pick things up from a distance, a little bit longer distance. See, I can pick it up from way back there, whereas normally you wouldn't be able to pick up from that far away. What else have I been playing with? I've obviously been chewing up more of this brush and more of the stumps. Our stump grinder here on the back of the tractor. The other thing I want to show you was what I'm doing with the scoop here and why it looks so funky. So with this map, we have we have to install it separately, but it's the TerraFarm mod, and that's going to allow us to do terraforming in some kind of interesting ways. I should also mention I've been experimenting with kind of painting the ground with different tiles. That's real easy to do. You may already be familiar with that. Let's just do it real quick and I'll show you. This is super fast. So into construction and landscaping, painting, choose painting here, and then pick anything you want. I think we're going to end up tiling this in forest ground once we're all done clearing it out. Then if you look over on the left side, in the help, we can change the brush size, make it bigger, boom, boom, boom. And then just paint. Click and paint. Costs a little bit to do it, not much. But we'll probably go with forest ground once we have this all cleared out, and then we plant some trees on top. I've done a little bit of that. But then let's look at the terraforming or the TerraFarming mod. I managed to smooth out a huge bump here with that mod. But let's go over to where those problematic railroad tracks are and see if we can level the ground over there and make it a little easier for our timber trailer to get over there without getting stuck on the railroad tracks. We'll head back to the other area where the ponds is. I can probably turn, well, I'll leave the help on because we're going to use it here in a second. All right, here we are at our problematic tracks. You can see the ground has got a little bit different texture. That's for me kind of playing around. What I want to do is raise the ground in front of those tracks so we don't have that ridge. If I try to climb up this thing, this tractor will have no problem, but our semis and our trailers don't seem to like this too much. So what we can do with this mod, and I encourage you to look on YouTube for tutorials if you want to use this. This isn't going to be a tutorial. I'm just going to kind of show real quick my understanding of how it works. I'm not an expert yet. So if you look at the bottom of the help there's two things, mode and discharge mode. Mode is what's going to happen when I use my bucket. Let me switch over to that. When I use the bucket, what's going on here? Bear with me. Oop. Yeah, there we go. When I use the bucket to scoop up, that is what the mode is. So right now it's set to lower the ground. And then discharge mode is what happens when I dump, basically. So right now we have set it to lower the ground when I shovel and then smooth the ground when I discharge. With the discharge mode, I actually want that to raise the ground. So let's see if we can do that. In discharge mode, we can toggle that. Where is it? Discharge mode. Where is that now? It's not showing it. G. Select camera, select next tool. I know what one of the keys is, but I'm trying to get it to show up in the help. Kind of wondering why it's not showing up in the help unless I turned it off. Okay, enable table. If you look at the second item down in the help, enable TerraFarm, that's what we need to do. Why? Let me turn it on. Boom. Now we can toggle those two different modes. We want to change the discharge mode at the bottom to raise the ground. So that is the B key. So I'll click that. Boom. There's paint the ground. Normal. That's just going to dump the product, whatever you shoveled in. And then there's discharge mode, raise the ground. So let's try this out. I'm going to dig out of this hill a little bit. Let's see. Can I change my... Not sure why they're making me change to this, but all right. Dig in. Boom. Our little bucket is full. It only holds 1,000 units. It's showing that I've got rock in the bucket, but because we've got that discharge mode set to flatten ground, that's not what I want. Let me change it again. B, I see. Bear with me. G, B. That's back to raise ground. Working a little different than it was a little while ago for me. So that's why I'm stumbling here. Let's dump and raise this ground right in front of the train tracks. Let's dump here, and we should see a little bit of the ground raise up. Not much. There it goes. We saw it come up a little bit. Let's grab a couple more loads and see if we can't raise it. But this may be a way for us to terraform without it costing us any money. It costs time, right? Especially when I'm kind of new at doing it. But if we got a bigger bucket on here, obviously it would go a lot quicker. Okay, I'm just checking the modes. They both look right. Come over here and dump again. So you can see it is being improved. We'll do a bit more of this. I'm going to save my voice here and be quiet while we do it. And then I'm going to chew up some of these stumps so I don't fall on them or don't stumble over these things. Let me turn on our stump grinder. And take out this brush too while we're at it. There we go. Let's see if I can get at it. Maybe I'll lift this. Can I get closer? There we go. Got that one. Little piece of brush here we can take out. Grab this stump. Got a stubborn one here. There we go, got it. We'll get these out of our way and then we'll get back to doing a little bit of terraforming. A little more to get to up here. These are trees that we chopped down last episode, I believe. I don't know that we'll be able to terraform this whole mountain flat, but there are some areas over here that we could make a bit smoother and make our forestry operation a little easier to run once we clear this area and plant new trees. See one over here, might as well grab it. And there's one more way back. A couple of them behind us. We'll get those. I see one over here. Let's grab it. In fact, there's two here. Nice and easy. I like it. That is not one. That was just some plants. Thought there was one more back here. I don't see it now. Here it is. All right, that'll clear out the area a little bit for us. Let's do a few more scoops. See if we can't level those tracks a little bit. Make it easier for our truck to get over there. Turn off the forestry mulcher. Change our implement. We'll check lower the ground and raise the ground. Okay, yep, we're good. Let's do it. Like I said, if we put a bigger bucket on this, this would be a faster job, and we'll probably do that for other areas that we want to terraform. But again, this is a way of doing it with less money and a little bit more realism. It's already like way improved from what it was. Looks like my little grinder's still going. I thought I turned that off. Let's turn it off. Look at that. Way better, way better coming up on that. We'll do a little bit more and maybe take a look at the other side. The TerraFarming mod has a bunch of settings. You can choose what material you're picking up. Right now it's set to pick up rock. But we could set it to pick up dirt. I'm not, or a bunch of other materials, I believe. So you tell it what actually you want it to put in the bucket when it digs. That is better. Now I got a little bit of a hill there. We can try and smooth it. So let's do that. Let's change the settings here. Okay, we need to be on the bucket, I think. And then let's toggle both modes. We're going to set the regular mode, or the top one, to flatten ground. And we'll do the discharge mode to smooth, maybe. Let's just see if we can make this look a little better. Oh, gotta change my implement. Do the arms, apparently. I'm not sure why. Now let's see what happens when we... I'm gonna go back and forth over this. We can smooth it out. Let's reverse these. Let's see if this works. X toggle mode. Let's do smooth ground. Do smooth ground for both. Oh no, we took way too much. Oh no, look at that. That's not the right way to go, apparently. Just undid a lot of our work. All right. Let's go shovel up some more and bring it out here. Change the modes again. And still learning that we want the main mode to dig and we want the discharge mode to lift up. Definitely going to take some practice, but you can see it's kind of a cool tool, and then in terms of realism, it's a lot better than just clicking a button and leveling the ground. See if we can get this a little better, then we'll leave it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, it's going to take practice before I can understand, or I can get good at the leveling and the smoothing. First time I worked it, it worked pretty good over by the other area, but of course when I'm doing it on camera, it's not going to work quite as good. It's just the way it goes. But again, I think it's kind of cool. And there's a setting to turn off those little bubbles. You don't want them on the shovel. I think that's mainly for debugging. But I haven't messed with the settings yet. They're pretty much on default. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit more in here better. All right, that looks pretty nice. And that's probably all we need to solve our problems. Let's hop across the tracks as long as the train's not coming. And let's do a little more brush clearing over in the other area. That's the area that we want to get some trees planted on first. We just need to clear out the trees and clear out the brush. We'll do some of the brush here on camera. Maybe we'll do a couple trees. I have been having a couple issues with or a frequent issue with what I believe is the lumberjack mod glitching on me, where the chainsaw just stops working. So we may see some of that here if we cut trees down. But right now I kind of want to focus on clearing out this brush. So we can turn off the help now. And let's go to this guy and turn him on. And we'll just start taking out brush in this area. Gotta lower it. Back up for speed, maybe. You could try doing this from within the cab. Just trying to run over these bushy areas. Don't have to take the perfect path through. All this brush needs to go. Almost easier to do it backwards, driving backwards. And again, we'll probably retexture the ground, so I'm not too worried if we're making kind of a crazy pattern on the ground. Not a big deal. I suppose we could put this rake down, although I'm not sure if that makes the field or what that rake does. Looks like we got a train bridge over there. Looks kind of cool. Chew up all these bushes, junk trees, scrubby brush. I don't want to fall in the river, but you want to clear out this stuff. Just makes it hard to see when you're working in the area, especially if you're clearing logs and they fall down in this stuff. It's just not fun. Try and see through, that is. There's the river. Looks kind of nice. All right, let's change the camera mode and go back to... I don't know, maybe the cab mode is a lot better. It's hard to see. Like I said, this is the exact problem we're trying to solve. There are all these leaves blocking our view. We'll get the trees and we'll get the brush. I'm just backing up over all this stuff. There's clearly a bunch of this brush in our path, so we'll just stay on course. Got some kind of little cell pointer trigger over here. I'm not sure what that is. If we can get under this tree. hop back in the cab and see how things look. Ooh, just ran into a tree. Yeah, it's hard to see, right? There's just so much of this scrubby brush. Got some small trees here we might take out with the chainsaw. Let's do it now. Use some of that anyway. Since we're not collecting up the branches, doesn't matter if there's some brush around. The bigger trees I will harvest for the wood, but these slightly smaller trees I'm not going to bother just for the sake of time. That one is pretty good. We'll harvest that. More of the little ones. That one's marginal. I think we will harvest that one. Look at all this brush that's got to get out of here. Where are we? Let's go backwards again. That's a little easier. Hung up on the tree here. See if I can work my way out of that. Very, very thick in this area, that's for sure. I missed some and I'm hung up on a tree. I'll steer a little bit. Again, we're doing this not just to do this. We're going to set up a tree farm in here, and we just want to clear out all of this visual noise so that we don't have to deal with it later. You can see off to the left, we're doing a pretty decent job getting it cleared out. Just a lot of work with the stump grinder here. Looks like another small tree we might be able to take out. There's another small tree. We'll grab that one while we see it. Making progress, but man, there's a lot to do. Let's go back to this mode. Well, we've got some of the trees out of the way. This camera view's not quite as bad. Not sure that we'll be planting our trees this close to the tracks. We don't want them falling on the train tracks. But we'll clear out this scrubby brush anyway. Let's take a break from this. I'll do more of this off camera. But I wanted you to see kind of what I'm doing, where I'm spending my time between episodes. We're going to clear off this whole little peninsula here. So we can get it ready for trees. I don't think we'll worry too much about leveling the land. It's not bad, actually. There was one little speed bump that I took out over here straight ahead. I used the TerraFarming mod to kind of level it out here. We had a big bump, and now it's nice and smooth. Let's cut down a couple more trees, load up the wagon here, and then sell. I'll unhook this guy for now. Let's go grab that tree, or better yet, why don't we bring the wagon over there? Boom. We'll sell a couple loads. You can see the cash is up to 148,000. We'll probably pay off a little bit of debt, maybe. Let's hope the chainsaw works. Looks like it's gonna work for us initially here. Hopefully it won't glitch out. Like I said, I've been having trouble with it just not working at all. Just hit the button, nothing happens kind of thing. All right, and this is what the mod allows us to do. Pick up these big heavy logs. Leaves a little bit of time getting these hauled. There's a downside too. I can tip this trailer over super easily, and I've done it twice. When it was full of logs. Look at this big huge stump, 1.6 tons, no problem. If we actually pick this up from a little further away, it ends up being a little easier to load into the truck here. This is probably going to be our last log. Did that make it in? Nope. In fact, I knocked another one out. Let's set this down. We'll get these two in, then we'll deliver this load. Come back and get the rest. Okay, that is successfully placed. Grab this from a little bit ways back. Set it in there delicately. This is not the approved carrying vehicle for logs, but it works. I should probably put the bucket down here. Let's see if I can toggle that while we're doing this. Get it out of our face a little bit. Yeah, there was a big bump here. Now it's nice and smooth, or relatively smooth. Bump there we could level off later, I suppose. Probably try and practice that a little bit off camera. I can be a little more productive on camera when we're trying to level the ground. We're going to use that same mod, that TerraFarming mod, in order to do mining. There is gold mining on this map, which is pretty cool. But it's going to be a while, I think, before we get to that. I don't want to start making money. I want to get forestry set up, and then I want to get farm set up. We do have the greenhouse going, growing lettuce, and we've got the one field of soybeans that's in, I think, the second to last growth stage. We've got a tiny, teeny bit of farming going. Then once we get this area cleared off, this is going to be a significant chunk of forestry, and we'll let this grow. I was planning to do half of this and then plant, and then the other half. We'll see. We may do that, or we may try and clear out this whole area. It depends. Definitely want to do some of the planting on camera. So we'll see how much I can get done. If I can clear all this area out off camera, I'll probably do it. Because you're probably seeing enough of that in this video, and we're going to have more areas than just this to clear out. This map is very, very rugged. It's a very rugged map. It looks awesome. We are going to try and tame the land here to meet our needs. Hopefully without ruining the aesthetic too much. with the tools in Farming Simulator 22 to paint the ground, add the different textures and stuff, it's pretty powerful. Pretty excited actually about it. When I first played Farming Simulator 22, I felt, man, there's just not that much new. I'd played a bunch of Farming Simulator 17, mostly skipped Farming Simulator 19. Started playing 22 and I'm like, wow, this is not, doesn't feel that different. But I think there is a lot of stuff kind of behind the scenes, the ability to do this terraforming and maybe some stuff that enables mod creators to do more creative things. That's not immediately apparent. That's been put into the game. So I'm feeling a little more positive about it as I learn more about what you can do. You know, stuff like adding field stones to the field, you know, that's to me is like nothing, not a big deal. It's like, I have it turned off because it's just kind of tedious. But features like that, adding lime, you know, that kind of stuff doesn't seem to be such a big deal and probably not that hard to implement. But doing this terraforming and allowing mod creators or having the facility for mod creators to do stuff like the Terrafarm mod, that probably took a fair amount of work and architecture and coding to make that happen. And we get to benefit from it because there's some new stuff we can do. All right, I got a log here I'm tripping over. Let's hopefully get that one in there, see if it fits. Boom. That's probably going to be enough. Should remember to spin this thing around when it's empty, not when it's full. There's one more log on the ground. Let's get it. See if we can find a spot here for this thing. Don't like the way it's kind of... Maybe that'll work. We got to turn around. We got a couple tiny trees here. I may hop out and take those out actually while we're standing in front of them. We could harvest these. I just don't think it's worth the time with everything we've got to do in this map. That one can go, and we'll take out this one. Again, this is the lumberjack mod that's allowing me to do this. Take out another one. We still got some brush to take out. These aren't tiny trees, but they're small enough. I'm going to say it's not worth the time, given all the ones that we do have to do. Those, we got a couple of big ones there. This is kind of a baby tree. We'll take some of these out and we'll get back in the tractor. Look at those logs. Bunch of smaller trees here in the middle of this little, what I'm calling peninsula. It's probably not really properly meant to be called a peninsula, but it looks like one. Okay. More scrub to clear out here. We'll get to it. One more little guys here. There's some big trees we'll have to chop up by hand. Let's take out the roots. One more, then we'll go deliver the logs and see what we get cash-wise for those. Boom. Happy to see the chainsaws working here while we're on camera. In we go. The super strength mod allows us to, I think, to right our tractor if it falls over too. So that could save some time at the cost of immersion, but we may make use of that. Or if we get stuck on the train tracks, it'd come in handy. Hopefully it won't glitch. You know, if it doesn't glitch, I'll keep it. If not, we'll have to find something else. I'm sure I can find another mod that does similar. With these bigger logs, we could probably actually use our timber trailer. But we'll stick with this for a little while. I was able to pull the trees that had slid down into the water. Pull those out too between episodes using the lumberjack mod. That made it possible to reach in there even though it's land I don't own. That was kind of cool. Here's our timber runner with the autoloader mod. And let's get through here without losing our logs. Getting about 151,000. Not horrible, not great. This is kind of a slow process. Not doing this for the money, doing it so we can set up some forestry where we can use our ponds. Scorpion King. Boom. Whoops. Let's see. It must not be quite on the spot here. Oh, we sold 369. Let's see. It's not letting me sell the whole bucket. Am I not in the... Maybe I'm not entirely in. Now, this has not been a problem. I'm in the lines here. Let's not do that. Hold on one second. Let me get that bucket back on here before I lose it. I've actually got rock in there. Come back. If we can trigger the sale of all that wood. Oh man. Surprised it's not working. Hold on, what am I missing? Sell wood. That has been working, no problem. Back up a little bit. Right there, otherwise I gotta pull it out. Yeah, I have not had this problem yet. Nothing. Did we get it that time? No. Might be one piece or something that's causing us a problem. Okay. Let's see if they'll let us sell one piece. No. That is awfully strange, unless I'm missing something obvious. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I think we'll wrap this episode here. I might shut down and restart and see if we can get this going again. This I've not had a problem with. This has been working just fine. And just driving the trailer through there, not emptying it out at all, and no problems with the sail trigger. Try one more time, and then we'll wrap it. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out. Something is wrong. I'm not sure it's one of the mods. It could actually be the lumberjack mod somehow. Maybe I'll disable and see if we have an issue. Anyway, I'll debug that off screen. Get it figured out one way or another. Yeah, let's wrap it here. You guys got to see the TerraFarm mod a little bit. A little bit of the lumberjack mod. Started clearing out more of this brush. You can see the peninsula is already starting to look a lot more clear. We've got just these big trees we've got to harvest. I'll do a bunch of that between episodes. Just a matter of getting the chainsaw out and hacking them apart, loading them onto that trailer, and then selling them. And then you also saw how we can take out these little trees in one shot, stump and all. Kind of nice. So yeah, we'll leave it there, and I will see you all in the next episode.